doing some late night painting. The wife is in town, so she made it last night.
I'm in town.
Yeah, you're in town. She's here. She was out of town, so picked her up last night at like 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So just really rough day of traveling. But she's studying in the background or like on her phone or whatever. But she's here.
Studying.
Oh yeah, she's studying. LED said I was waiting. Hello, Ellie. Thank you for joining again. Magnus is here. Hey, what's up, Magnus? Great to see you. Great to see you.
Ellie's trying to steal my van.
Eddie. You don't get it.
What don't I get?
You don't get anything.
I don't get you, but...
Yeah. All right, so working on a plasma rifle today. So trying to get that glowing effect. I just have it basic right now. Nothing too crazy, but I'll be working on getting the glowing effect. I also drilled out the muzzle, but I'm going to show you guys how to make it look like it's glowing. It's really cool. So this is harder to do than this, but I can show you how to make the muzzle look like it's dripping. It's pretty sweet. Magnus says, great to see you too, man. Sorry I missed your last stream. It's okay. It's okay. I didn't do a stream last night, so it was 2 nights ago. I just needed the night off, and then just doing stuff around the house. Sunday's a little bit of a catch-up day, so. Ellie says, I got Sprite in my eyes this morning at like 3. Ellie. Were you drinking out of a can, or was it a bottle? Oh, James Tactics. Hey, how's it going, friend? Welcome back. Awesome. Oh my gosh. And I posted one video. It took me way too long to edit it and to like chop it up and everything. It was, I don't know, making videos like long form or even short form videos is pretty time intensive as compared to going live. You know, this is a little bit easier, so. Oh, sweet. James Tactics says, I just commented on your post. I appreciate that. LED says it was a can of Sprite. Ooh. And then Magnus said, just built my first Krieg squad. Hell yeah. Absolutely amazing, sir. I'm so happy for you. You have no idea. I need to build mine and keep building them, so, yeah. I got the box of Krieg. You know what I'm talking about. I got that for my birthday. I haven't even opened it yet. So like I got other Krieg done, but I gotta get there's so many for the points, like for 2,000 point army. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. So, and I don't know if I want to do the riders again, so we'll see. We'll see. They look awesome, but just I know on tabletop they're not good. But I wonder, Magnus, if I do the Krieg Death Riders, do you think I could, like, is there any way I could switch them out for the Rough Riders instead? I got the Battle Force box. Yeah, I got the Battle Force box. I want the Combat Patrol too. I really want that, not gonna lie. If I see that, I'm snatching it up. So, LED said I was sleeping so good earlier. Awesome. Yeah, go ahead, LED. Your song lyrics. Go for it. Kick it. Oh, man, oh, man. Yeah, I want the Combat Patrol. That's like one of the most... Even though you don't get like a lot of points out of it, like point to cost of the actual like box, it's Krieg, you know? It's just... I don't care. I want it. Like, you just justify it, you know? But I want to do the Tillman Rough Riders. If I'm able to proxy, like, I want to know if you've ever done this, but, like, I want to build, like, I have the Death Riders, but can I proxy them at a tournament and say, these are Rough Riders? Because Rough Riders have better stats. Like, I know it might depend on the tournament and everything, but, like, I would ask. Because they're in the Codex. So that's not a problem. They're in the Astra Militarum Codex. They're Codex compliant. It's just the minis look different. But if I'm like, yeah, these are actually the Attilan Rough Riders, you know. And then Magnus said it doesn't have to be pure Krieg because it's all, yeah, okay, excellent. Captain Penguin 12, hey, what's up, brother? He said, Travis, that's me. Oh my gosh. Magnus said I bought the Battle Force box too. Yeah, dude. Oh, it's so freaking sweet. I'm so glad that they have more minis. Like, I remember for years, nothing. But now they finally have a good amount of Krieg, and I'm excited. And they're definitely going to have more in 2026, I think. I think they're going to have a lot more. So, at least more. I don't want to say a lot more, but I think more. And then Captain Penguin 12 said, it's been like a week. I know it's been like a week. Oh, we got 50 people in here. Oh my gosh. Thank you for joining, everybody. Hell yeah. That's awesome. If I can get a thumbs up or a sub, that would really help the channel out. So I'm just working on painting today and just hanging out with my good friends here on YouTube. So I'm really glad everybody's here. Gosh. So what's your favorite mini, Magnus, if you could say, out of the Deathcore box? What's the number one you're like, I really want to build this guy and paint him up because he's going to look so cool. And then Penguin said, James Tactics said, Penguin, thanks for commenting on my comment. Aw. Yep. Captain Penguin 12, he's an OG of the channel. He's been subbed for a while, so thank you very much for joining as always, friend. And then Magnus is awesome. He's got he's a big 40K fan, so a lot like me. Sirloin Steak 12 says, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it. 16 people. Oh my gosh. We had 50 people in here. That's crazy. That's awesome. Fantastic. Merry Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas to you. Awesome. James Tactics says, can I sing my song? What song is it? What are you going to sing? All right, so I just put varnish on this this arm of the Heretic Astartes Aspiring Champion. So, but I'm going to be working on getting this glow up, so it's going to look like it's glowing. That's the plan for this. Easier said than done, but it's something I'm continuing to work on. So, Sirloin Steak 12 says, I am Captain Penguin. I'm the captain now. Oh, and then James Tactics says, I made it up, it's fire. Oh, dude, absolutely. If you made your own lyrics, please put them in. And then let me know what, like, beat it's to, or if it's, like, is it hip-hop, is it rock, is it grunge, is it what? Let me know what it is, so. Or if you want to put some of your lyrics in. You don't have to put all of them in, but, you know. If you want to. Or if you want to post a video of it, you could, James Tactics, if you want to post a video of it, like that would be good too on your YouTube. And just make sure you put your name on there and just say, hey, I wrote this. This is my work, you know. And tonight we're drinking A&W Zero, so. My favorite guard minis? I would say, out of the Astra Militarum, I would say the Commissar, the Krieg Commissar looks awesome. Outstanding model. Just a good looking model overall. Just got that commanding presence. I really like the Rogel Dorn tank, of course. I have two of them. And I just like the look of the Rogel Dorn tank. I also have a Basilisk. I have not built the Basilisk yet, but I love the look of the Basilisk. So, like, I love those. And then if I could say the entire squad of combat engineers, I just love it. I love the guy with the little shotgun, the little street sweeper. That's like my favorite guy out of that whole thing because he just looks so badass. And I'm a combat engineer by trade in the military, so of course I gotta like them, so obligatory. Let's see. I'm a sucker for anything Krieg, yes sir. Yep, so am I. I love the aesthetic, I love the lore. They're probably one of the most grim dark, if not the most grimdark Astra Militarum, like guard. I guess you could say regiment, but I mean you could say faction, but I wouldn't say they're a faction. But like that army aesthetic, I just love the World War I aesthetic. Like, but it's like in the future, yet they're still using trench warfare. It's just you can't beat it. It's so badass. I've even seen people play Trench Crusade, and they actually use like the 40K minis in it because, or they use parts from it, right? Like bits and stuff, and it's just you can kind of swap them in and out between games because they're kind of similar in look and everything and purpose. Yeah, Lord Marshal Dreyer. Oh, absolutely. He looks fantastic. Beautiful fucking mini. Beautiful mini, man. I do not have him done. Let's see. Yeah, you're building the engineers. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think I'll start with the engineers. Maybe I'll start with my engineers because I got a little box of them to add. So I think I'll just do the little box of them when I get to it. You know, it's gonna be a minute, but. And then Sirloin Steak says Warhammer game like video game. I have not. I have not played any of the Warhammer video games, and I want to play Space Marine 2 really bad. Or I would play. Oh God, let me think about it. I'm getting a brain fart now. It's like, what's it called? I can't think of it, but there's like 2 other games I really want to play. There's another FPS. Yeah, Space Marine 2 looks amazing. I've seen like the skins, people playing different legions, and like I saw, because I follow some people on YouTube or on Facebook, and I see that they have like Night Lord skins. There's people with like freaking Khorne Berserker skins. It's just awesome. Just can't beat that. I love the fact that they included you could play Chaos in Space Marine 2 if you're doing PvP, and that's so badass. So yeah, sometimes the yeah, Magnus said yeah, sometimes the Krieg execute their commissars. Yeah, they do. Yeah, if they're like, "Oh, sir, we should push forward." And he's like, "Actually, we need to hold in reserve because we don't want to waste you." And they're like, "Sir, we're going forward anyway." Or it's like the Catachan jungle fighters. If a commissar tries to lead them, like, good luck. They're going to get shot in the back of the head or catch a knife to the forehead or across the throat because Catachan jungle fighters are just a whole different breed of Astra Militarum. That guard unit in particular needs a lot of attention from Games Workshop. They could sell so many kits if they actually doubled down and like redid some of the Catachan jungle fighters or changed their rules, you know, things like that. Like I think I could even do that. Like if I were hired by GW, I would do that. I would take that on no problem. I'm like, "Oh, you want to glow up your freaking you know, Catachan jungle fighters? I'll do that, no problem. I'll even write their detachment rules." So we got a whole bunch of comments in here. I'm loving it, guys. Thank you so much. James Tactic says, "I dug my grave 2 minutes before I died. I said, I don't like you, get away. I hope you can run." So that's just some of his lyrics to his song. That's cool. Glizzy Man Gaming, I'm back. Hey, welcome back. Awesome, Glizzy Man Gaming. Awesome. Great to see you as always. Sirloin Steak 12 says it looks badass. Yes, Space Marine 2 is freaking. The mechanics I think almost play like Gears of War a little bit. So it's just on a grander scale, but it's similar. In my opinion, it's like similar to Gears of War. Yeshua Maranatha 777 says, "Be blessed in the mighty name of Jesus. Greetings from Germany." Oh, hello. V Gates. Magnus says, "What's your favorite chapter, brother?" Ooh, my favorite chapter of Space Marines. So we're talking loyalists. Ooh. I mean, There's so many. Chapters. I mean, the Black Templars come to mind first, of course. They're almost a legion of their own. You know, they're always on a crusade. They have massive numbers, but like Black Templars are probably up there. Their minis look amazing too. They're considered a chapter. So if I were to put like a chapter favorite loyalists, I think Black Templars would definitely be up there. They're so freaking cool. And I just love everything about them. Let's see. LED says, from me, I'm never ever good for anything. Why do you talk to me? I'll never buying a wedding ring. So that's LED. Okay, done with that half song. I'll do the rest if you want. Go for it, Ellie. Glazzy Man Gaming said, I'm back. And then LED said, question mark, question mark, question mark. James Tactics says, I don't post them. I make these songs at school with my friend. Oh, that's cool, man. That's fine. Magnus said, I'm a fan of the Raptors. Oh, dude, the Raptors they have so much potential. I agree. I really agree. I think the Raptors are freaking sick. And I'm trying to figure out, forgive me, I want to say they're descended from the Raven Guard, but I could be wrong. Like, I want to say they are. Because they're the way that they are stealthy and everything. Some people say they're Ultramarines. They're descendant from that. And then LED says, you want me to finish the song or chug a monster? Magnus said chug a monster. Oh my god. Ellie said I got this. Ellie is not sleeping tonight. Forever Lurk 2. Oh my gosh, Forever Lurk 2. Dude. Do you have that filter on again? YouTube doesn't like mama jokes. Let me change that filter. So, let's see. I think chat filter, show all messages. Okay. Now I can see if you guys type any jokes in here, they will not be screened. And then Magnus said it's unknown from their... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It's got to be Raven Guard. Yeah, because I remember watching a couple videos on them. And I was like, these guys have to be Raven Guard. I mean, you'd think, but I do like the Raven Guard. Yeah, you said that, and I'm like, actually, yeah. I love Black Templars. They're still number one, but like within the top 5, if not number 3, I would probably put the Raptors in there. If not number 2. And I've seen people painting them, and I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, man, if I had a Loyalist chapter, oh my god, I would put cami netting on them. I would have them in like ghillie suits and shit. Like, oh my gosh. I would have so much fun painting those guys. I would do it like desert camo, and I'd do like jungle camo. Because the Raptors are just, they have a modern military aesthetic to them that I just absolutely adore. And it makes sense, like for all the chapters, like, you know, of course, the Ultramarines are all blue. You see them coming from a mile away. They want you to see them coming. But the Raptors are different, you know? Crimson Fists are cool. The Emperor's Scythes. I've been looking into the Emperor's Scythes, and I'm like, this is such an interesting chapter. Some people say they're kind of vanilla, but I think they're pretty freaking cool because they basically specialize in killing Tyranids only. And I think that's a great chapter. I mean, they lost so many of their guys to that. But they've rebuilt themselves, and I'm excited for Astartes 2, which is going to feature, apparently it's going to be a Death Watch themed. Astartes 2 is going to be Death Watch, and then they're going to have the backgrounds of each of the people in the Death Watch squads. So, speaking of, Death Watch are probably my second favorite chapter. So, yeah, I like Black Templars. I love me some Death Watch, and then probably Raptors. And then maybe Emperor's Scythes, maybe, you know. Yeah, Magnus said the Emperor's Scythes are sweet. Love their color schemes. Same, dude. No, they go hard. Like, you'd never think, like, oh, yellow and black. Like, no, but they look cool. And I like their heraldry and everything. They just look badass. And just the way that they fight and the ferocity of them. and how they got their name, the Emperor's Scythes. You could look up the backstory lore on that. Pretty freaking cool. And it makes sense. LED says, I'm going to make a whole pot of coffee and then dump sour powder in my mouth. Go for it. LED does not, she does not learn her lesson. She likes doing things and she's just silly. Magnus says, Emperor's MB. Emperor's MB. I don't know what that means. MB. Not good with the acronym there. Sorry. LAD said my balls. That was quick. That's funny. Magnus said they give me Halloween vibes. Yeah, actually they do. Because it's almost like I saw someone paint an Emperor's Scythe, and what they did was they based blue on the part that's like yellowish. It's almost orange. And then he painted over it with like an orange over the blue. And I thought it was yellow, but it's almost like an orange, not quite that orange. Let me see here if I could find it. Because here's Uriel yellow, which is very yellow. And then I got flash kits for the orcs. But, I mean, Emperor's Scythes are somewhere in between here. Like, on color. Yeah. I think they look cool, too. They're freaking sick. And, like, what is it? The Mortifactors? The Mortifactors chapter. I learned about them. I'm like, holy shit, they're crazy. And those guys are descended from Blood Angels. So, which makes sense. Blood Angels are freaking... They're pretty cool, too. Big fan of Blood Angels, of course. LED says, oh, Magnus said, so stop pouring citric acid in your eyes. LED says, I'll be back. I have to dump my head in the pool. Sirloin Steak says, interesting choice of words, Ellie. Oh my gosh. Magnus says, I'm not too familiar with many chapters, but they're sick. Yes, they are. Have you learned about the Cursed Founding chapters at all, Magnus? I'm sure you've got to be familiar with them a little bit. But the Cursed Founding is something that's very wild in the timeline of 40K because they're trying to, like, basically the Overlords of Terra, the Lords of Terra. Yep, that's the one with the Lamenters, correct. Yep, correct. Yep. So the cursed founding, and like, oh my gosh, there's I think, how many chapters were made out? I think 13 chapters, but I could be wrong. But they made them, and I was like, holy shit. Super cursed founding. The Lamenters are very interesting. They have quite the cult following as well. I don't know if they're still around in the 40K. I'm pretty sure they got wiped out by Tyranids, if I'm not mistaken. But their backstory is kind of interesting, but then like learning about how they handled themselves with the Black Rage, that's a whole nother, because theirs is even worse than what the Blood Angels get. So their version of the Black Rage, which is like the original, and then they have the Blood, what's it called? I can't remember what affliction they have. It's Blood something. Someone's gonna slap me in the head, but LED says, we are back and I am wet. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Ellie, you're so funny. Magnus said, I'll go look it up. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, thank you. Oh, here we go. Sirloin Steak. Captain Penguin 12 changed his name. So he said, what do you call a pig that does karate? A pork chop. Maddie says a pork chop. That's a great guess, by the way. They were not wiped out. Oh, okay. So they are still around. Oh, thank God. Yeah. I thought they were, but no, they're still around. Dang, they're still kicking. And I know that they're, if they get sent to any world or if they show up, like they receive a call, like a distress signal, they'll show up, and if they know who they are, they're like, "Oh, we don't want you." Like it's like they're almost like the bad jinx, you know, because whenever they come around, things get worse. Apparently, yeah. The logo of the Lamenters, they're cool. Absolutely, yeah. They're freaking. They're very cool. At first, I wasn't on board with them because I'm like, why would they be called the Lamenters? Like that's a sad thing. Like, what do they regret? You know. And I just saw a bunch of memes about how they cry, and I'm like, so they're just really emotional or something. But then you look up the lore, and you're like, oh, so they have very high combat prowess. They're very good at what they do. They're very tactical. However, they just so happen to have really bad luck in the battlefield sometimes. Like, they'll win an engagement, but then their like strike cruiser ship will explode. You know, and they lose like everybody, and they're like, oh shit, what happened? We were winning, we were doing so good, and then something happens. It's like Zinch's got something going on with them, and they just don't know it. And then, of course, if they fall to the Black Rage, it's like they become stronger, more powerful versions of what the Blood Angels would fall into. So, let's see here. Forever Lord 2 says, Yo Mama walked past the TV and we all missed days of our lives. Oh my gosh. Trippy Chicken Boy, hey, what's up, man? Sirloin Steak 12 says, how do you make a witch itch? How do you make a witch itch? I don't know that one. Magnus said, yeah, I read about the Lamenters and the relationships with other chapters, but apparently other chapters are wary of raptors as well. I did not know that. Interesting. I wonder why. Maybe because they think they're cowardice or something, like, oh, how dare you not show yourself in front of your enemies and in full, you know, glory and take it to them with glorious melee combat. You know, they love that. So if you're sniping them from afar, they're like, what are you doing? Space Marines, you should be at the front killing the enemies, you know, with your power swords and chain swords and bolt pistols. It's what you're built for. LED says, why does my head hurt if I took medicine? Well, it depends on what type of medicine you took, Ellie. Bro, life hurts my mind. Oh. Yeah, Magnus said the exact same thing I'm saying. Depends on what medicine and side effects. So LED says I'm scared of life. Scared of life? Oh no. What are you scared of in life? Like getting older, or what are you scared of, Ellie? James Tactics says forever lurk dripping chicken. Yes, he is. Yep, Drippy Chicken Boy is like the Carcharodons of Space Marines, is what he is. He's always lurking in the outer, and then he just shows up out of nowhere, and then just goes by. And he just shows up out of nowhere, and then just goes away. Look up the Carcharodons, Drippy Chicken Boy. That's your chapter, dude. Yeah, oh, it was cowardice? Okay. Okay. Makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense at the same time. They're like, oh, we're fighting with the Raptors? Psh, they're not even go full frontal assault and commit all their troops on a freaking death mission? What? They don't believe in suicide tactics? What the hell? That's so funny. LED says, do y'all like the pink guy? Magnus says, what's pink guy? LED says he's a singer. Magnus says I love the Carcharodons too. I tried to paint them once. Oh, that's badass. Yeah, do they even make minis for the Carcharodons? I know I saw some people have like fan fiction or they actually created, I'm sure that there's 3D printed minis of like Typhon the Red Wake, of course. So, which he's so freaking interesting. They're so cool. They're so cool. Okay. And then Magnus says, no, they don't. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Not yet. Maybe in 2011 or maybe in 2026 they'll do it. Maybe they'll do it in 2026. They'll actually like put some stock into like, what about these like chapters over here that nobody really talks about? I mean, you could call them obscure, I guess, but like there's people who absolutely love them. They definitely have a cult following. It might not be as big as like, you know, the Blood Angels or like the Dark Angels, of course, or like the I mean, of course, the Ultramarines. There are some Imperial Fist. There's a good amount of Imperial Fist players, even though they're not even close to the Legion that they were. But I don't know. I feel like they're more obscure, but I don't think that means they won't sell. I definitely think if they made a Red Wake, like Typhon the Red Wake, like individual, and they charge like $60 for it in Terminator armor, people would absolutely pay for that. Like, absolutely, no doubt in my mind. They would definitely buy that mini, regardless of if it was $60. So, just to have it. Mental Raccoon Glass says, hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. And then James Tactics said, you just got to get kit bash something for Tyberos or something. Yeah, that makes... Oh, I was saying Typhon. Tyberos. And then LED Forever, Lurking, Drippy Chicken are the best people of your life. Yeah. On my live, yeah, they're always having fun. Always. LED shows up like first. So... always having fun. Magnus said they used to make a Forge World model. I did not know that. Oh, and Magnus. Also, yeah, he's cool too, right? James Tactics? Yes, they are. Oh, that's nice of you, man. Forever Look 2 said, I have no need for camouflage. I wear my colors proudly. The weapon of the Emperor's right hand. My colors bring the heretics to me so I can split their souls. Hell yeah, that's a badass quote. Makes sense. They're like, oh, what? I don't need to hide myself. I'm a space marine. I'm going to show up in full freaking plate, and I'm going to take the fight to the enemy, and we're going to freaking close with destroy the enemy, you know. LED says, why, thank you. The thing that is scaring me right now is the fact that I have Forever Lurk 2 keeps popping up. I think you leave, and then you come back. It's scary. Interesting. LED is keeping tabs on who's in the chat. Can you see who left the chat? Is that, or like who left and who showed up? That's interesting. LED is the most loyal out of all of us. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And then Magnus said the Forge World model is pretty small too. Yeah. Okay. So it's not, yeah, compared to how big he really is, which canonically they say he's a very massive space marine, probably one of the largest space marines ever. And then maybe like Logan Grimnar's very large, of the Space Wolves. And then who else is large, like space marine wise? But Forever Lurk 2 says, I'm just checking in on the current status of your eyes. Oh yeah, because LED keeps putting stuff in her eyes. She's gonna be blind soon, I swear. She'll put Pop Rocks in them next. Pop Rocks and soda, see what happens. Don't do that. Magnus says, I think he's 12 foot something. You gotta fact check me. Yeah. He's a big boy by Space Marine standards, which Space Marines are already tall as is. I believe they're about 9 feet. Yep. And then Nemo says Tiberius, the Red Wake. I was saying Typhon, which is wrong. And then Tyberos, and then Tiberius. Interesting. Nemo, thank you for joining us, sir. I'll have Pop Rocks in my pantry, Ellie says. Silly. All right, so this should be good and dry. I'm going to go ahead, and what I do is I give a very thin tipped, just a little thing like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to find white. So a base white is what you want to use. That ain't it. You can use other whites too, but like I have Corax white, the coveted Corax white. Magnus said he just looked it up, and he's about 10 to 12 feet tall. Okay. Yeah. So a little bit taller. If you ask Carcharodon fans, he's like 20 feet tall. So. And then Sirloin Steak says, hot or cold tea? I mean, it's the winter. I would go with hot tea, personally. And then Magnus says, I fuck with the root beer. Hell yeah, dude. So do I. I love A&W, and I love Dad's root beer. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite sodas. And I'm a Coke guy, so I like Coke Zero. I love Dr. Pepper, of course. I'll drink a Pepsi if absolutely need be, but not my number one. But I will resort to Pepsi if need be. And it's funny because around here in Rochester, Minnesota, like almost every restaurant, almost every fast food place, almost like serves nothing but Pepsi. There's like Pepsi products everywhere, and it's because we have a decent sized Pepsi distribution plant here. So I think a lot of shops and a lot of places just work with each other. So LED says I'll do both. Oh my gosh. Oh, Magnus says we have a local beer maker near and they make good root beer. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's freaking sweet. See, that's even better. You get the real good stuff that's like hard to find, but you can just get it at your local store probably. That's best. We do not have that. I wish, but that's freaking awesome. James Tactics says, me. Nemo says he grows by every Yeah, he does. He grows every time. I know, Nemo. Like, talk about Tiberius the Red Wake, and it's like, he's 30 feet tall. He's the size of Godzilla. All that matters is when he's standing over his enemies, they cower in size compared to him. Man, that guy should be in like cataphracti armor, if anything. That'd be sick. Like cataphracti. He's in Terminator armor, but if it was like cataphracti Terminator armor, that'd be pretty peak. All right, so I mixed up our Corax white. It's got a really nice consistency there, just a little bit on the tip. And I'm just going to stick it right down the barrel of the gun and just get that thing white. All in just little circles. That's how I do it. Okay, make sure I get it all in there. Not missing anything. There we go. So you can't see it. The detail probably isn't there, but I did paint the inside white. I'm going to let that dry. Okay. I will be using that white later, or I have a layer of white scar. So I have those two options because I will be using the white one more time. Because usually what I do after this, I grab, here it is, Warpstone Glow. I do the same thing all over the white. Then what I do is I take the white, put it in there, and then I put this in there. So this is the Tesseract Glow, which is an awesome technical paint, by the way.